All right, today I wanted to do a little bit different kind of video. Today what I wanted to talk to you about is about what you should read. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because I feel like societally, in society, there's this tendency to say, these are the types of books you should read. I remember, and for some value, some reason, right? The books that we teach in school, we obviously think as a society you should read. The books that we teach at university and college, those are the books that we say you should read. And I remember getting to college and as an English major, feeling like, man, there's a lot of these books that I've heard about over the years as classics, as important books that I've never read, and I wish I would have read them. Things like, and I say this not without a little bit of trepidation, but as an English teacher / future school librarian, I have never read a Mark Twain book. I have never read a Jane Austen book. Those things sometimes feel like I have missed the mark. I've done something wrong as a reader. I should have read these things before. And I'll say, obviously, those authors are phenomenal authors whose writings have impacted society, whose writings are referenced over and over in other writings. So would I benefit from reading them? Absolutely. But the problem with this idea that these are the books that you should read is that it also sort of implies that these are the books that you should not read, or these books are of lesser value. And I have found that not only are there books that are looked down upon, but there are entire genres, entire formats that are considered to be of less value than others, of less academic or intellectual importance than others. For instance, graphic novels. Now, obviously, I am a huge advocate of graphic novels and of comic books and that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan, aside from just being a big Marvel and DC, kind of fan. I think that there's value in them. You look at things like Scott Snyder's run of Batman. And Scott Snyder, who has a creative writing degree from an Ivy League college, right? And chose with that creative writing degree in an Ivy League college to apply his skills to comic books, to Batman, right? And much of the academic community looks at that and says, what a waste of talent. But if you enjoy, if you read Batman, you discover that it is a powerful story full of incredible themes and not only that, but it can allude to what we consider the great literature you're supposed to have read. I remember reading a comic book story and seeing them reference Sophocles' story Antigone, right? So it can have that connection to greater literature. I mean, even a character from, one of the villains from the Batman comic books is tied directly to what we consider classic children's literature, which is the Alice in Wonderland, stories by Lewis Carroll. So first of all, I want to say that there is no literature that is devoid of academic value. C.S. Lewis talked about the idea that if children's literature cannot be enjoyed by adults, that it's not good children's literature. Good children's literature should be able to be enjoyed by people of all ages. So there's definitely something to be said by that. But here's the biggest thing. The most important thing you can do to develop yourself intellectually, academically, to develop your abilities in other academic areas, but to me, most important, to develop yourself psychologically in the sense of developing empathy, which is, to me, one of the most important and valuable traits a human can have, is read. And the key to that is to read what you like. Read something that you enjoy because you enjoy reading it, which is something that I've tried to encourage my students to do. My wife is not a huge reader, but when she found a book that she liked, she devoured it. So if you love comic books, read them. If you love poetry, read it. If you love children's literature, read it. If you love young adult literature, read it. If you love the classics, read them. I would encourage everyone to read widely and diversely. Those are the things that Stephen King and Neil Gaiman and many other prolific writers have indicated are key to their success is that they read widely. So read what you love, read widely, challenge yourself to read something that's out of your comfort zone and see if you like it. Listen to audiobooks. Audiobooks are a perfectly acceptable way to read a book. Some people can read hundreds of books if they use audiobooks. But if you put a book in front of them with pages, they might make it through a book a year. Whatever it takes for you to read more and to read in a way that you enjoy it, do that. Okay? And I think to me, that is the most important answer to the question, what should we read?